Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? Welcome to another edition of the State of the Saints podcast. It is yours truly, TJ Jones, and I'm here today to talk about the Saints Week 10 matchup versus the Atlanta Falcons. That's right, the Atlanta Falcons. The New Orleans Saints got beat to sleep by the Atlanta Falcons by a score of 26-9. 26-9. And I I still can't believe it. I cannot believe that the New Orleans Saints got beat by just got beat by the Falcons, man. I mean, this game wasn't even close, man. I mean, complete domination from start to finish. The Atlanta Falcons, they really had the Saints number. I mean, you can say whatever you want. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, or maybes. The fact of the matter is this. The Saints, they got beat. And, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I know sometimes people say to me, man, you don't be knowing what you're talking about, man. The Saints, they're gonna weather the storm. They're gonna be able to, understand that they shouldn't look past the Falcons. I mean, I just said this, and I've been thinking about this the whole time. Like, I'm talking about since this game happened. This game right here was the one game that I was not as confident that the Saints was going to win. It was this game and the Seattle Seahawks game. Those were the two games this season I wasn't confident that the New Orleans Saints could win. Rather, Drew Brees would have played in that Seattle game or not. It's just something about the Atlanta Falcons, man. I mean, it's almost like that LSU-Alabama rivalry. It's almost like Michigan-Ohio State, even though that's one-sided. It's just one team that they just want to beat the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Like more than anything. I seen videos of people talking about this was their Super Bowl and, they playing spoiler and stuff like this. I mean, I told y'all, back in 2012, the Atlanta Falcons were 8-0 and the Saints, were the first team to beat them. I'm pretty sure the Atlanta Falcons, they're a prideful bunch, but if they don't win any other games this season, if they could sweep the Saints, they feel like that would have salvaged their season. I mean, in the eyes of probably Arthur Blank, this game right here probably the reason why Dan Quinn will keep his job next season. I mean, until next season, because he beat the Saints. I mean, they just do not like each other, man. I mean, this was complete domination. At first, I was kind of ticked because I wear my emotions on my sleeve, just like every other Saints fan. I thought that I was like, man, penalties and stuff like that, like, oh, man, the refs, they calling this game, like close to the vest. But the more I look at it, the more it just stood out. The Saints just got dominated. 3 of 12 on third down. They just couldn't get the ball down the field, and when they did, the offense just couldn't get the ball into the end zone. Look, the New Orleans Saints need to get another wide receiver. That's just all there is to it. Traquan Smith, as tough as that catch was that he caught that knocked his helmet off, he had opportunity to sustain a 3rd and 9, and he only had one catch for 13 yards, man. Ted Ginn Jr., excuse me, had 2 catches in his hand, and he dropped both of them. Michael Thomas is the only receiver this team got. And it's sad. It's sad to watch. It's sad to watch Michael Thomas go up and down the field like that. It's sad to watch this dude put everything that he has on the line every single week. And honestly, if anything happened to number 13, if anything happened to Michael Thomas, the Saints are doomed offensively. I don't care what y'all say. Look, I understand about Drew Brees and plug and play Teddy Bridgewater, and then we didn't have Alvin Kamara and plug and play Latavius Murray. Nah, if number 13 goes down, the New Orleans Saints have absolutely nothing at the wide receiver position, because I have seen absolutely nothing out of these other guys that will show me that if Michael Thomas gets hurt or anything happened to him, knock on wood, they cannot do anything. Traquan Smith, Second year, I understand he back on off an ankle injury, but bruh, horrible, horrible, man. Tay again. He looked like he was 36 years old. It was just horrible, man. The defense, they played probably one of their worst games they probably played all season long. Marshawn Lattimore goes out in the game, hamstring issue. That's alarming. When you're dealing with a hamstring, it's going to take you a while in order you to get back to form. You know, and then we just noticed, man, like he goes down, in comes P.J. Williams. And when I seen P.J. Williams coming in, playing on outside, I was like, God help us. I was like, God help us. Thank God for Marcus Williams. Thank God for Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams was cleaning up a lot of people mess in that secondary. I'm telling you, man. P.J. Williams got beat on that double move. I don't know if it was Ridley or Julio Jones. And Marcus Williams basically was playing like center fielder back there. He almost caught a pick. Then a second time, Eli Apple got beat off a double move, and Marcus Williams picked the ball off. Thank God for Marcus Williams. Okay, people say whatever they want, Minnesota Miracle, whatever. Marcus Williams is the second, I say the second best. I understand Von Bell getting forced fumbles, but he the second best secondary player the New Orleans Saints have this season outside of Marshawn Lattimore. They played better in the second half, man. The offense just couldn't move the football. Drew Brees looked like he was 41 years old in this game. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's true. He looked like he was 41. And that offensive line, they was getting whooped. Andrews Pete, before he left with the arm injury, he was getting whooped, man. Dude just pushing this dude down, getting bullied and everything like this. This was shades of the Rams game. That's what this looked like. This looked like shades of the Rams game. But you know what? This goes to show you right here. You can never be too high. You can never be too low in the National Football League. You can never be too high. You can never be too low. You cannot look at your opponent's record and just think that they're just going to lay down for you. That is not going to happen. I understand you fresh off your bye week and stuff like that, man. A lot of things were going on. I follow the Saints. I seen fashion shows. I seen people going back to their alma mater. I seen people at the World Series. I seen people at basketball games. That's cool. You want to get away from it. But at the same time, man, you want to be dialed in. And this team was not dialed in. This was this was two teams. One was prepared and the other one wasn't. And you can't give, you can't give me any excuses because both of them had bye weeks. It just seemed like one team took their bye week more serious than the other. This was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, man. They need to burn this tape after they watch this tomorrow, and they just need to put this in a pit of misery or throw it into the abyss so it'll never be shown ever again. I said it. I said this was a trap game. I said it. I said this was a trap game. The Saints had an opportunity. The Green Bay Packers lost last week against the Chargers. They had an opportunity to go up 2 games and have a possibility at the number 1 seed. Now you're watching Monday Night Football, hoping that the Seattle Seahawks can somehow beat the San Francisco 49ers. That way, you know what I'm saying, you can have a possible opportunity to go up against the Niners and battle for the number 1 seed. You had your destiny in your own hands. And you blew it. That's just all there is to it. You blew it. You blew it. You still leading the division. As of right now, the Panthers are beating the Green Bay Packers 7-0. So even if they win this game, you still got 1 game up on them. But the Saints, they need to step it up, man. I don't want to see nothing like this no more. They got too much talent on that team. They got too many guys that have been through too many trials and tribulations when it comes to the playoffs and all this other stuff for them to play as awful as they did, man. 2 people came to play. Marcus Williams and Michael Thomas. 2 people. They were the only 2 people on the Saints team came to play. Alvin Kamara, he looked like he was hurt and he missed 2 games. I don't know why. I just don't get it. I don't understand why Sean Payton wasn't running the football in the first quarter. I just didn't get it. They just completely just stopped running the football. I mean, the score was 3-0. Don't mean you have to throw the ball all around the place. See, that's the problem, man. Just because you got Drew Brees don't mean you got to throw the football everywhere. You know, like run the football. You had Latavius Murray playing out his mind. And you still ain't running the football with him. Man, I'm ticked off. I'm being honest. I mean, I kind of saw this coming, but to actually see the realization, see it coming to fruition, I thought maybe this team was better, but I don't know, man. It was just pathetic. That's the only word I can say, pathetic. Worse, this was worse than the Rams game, because even with the Rams game, you can understand that Drew Brees got hurt and Teddy Bridgewater wasn't fully prepared. But this game right here, I ain't even talking about no Falcons, man. Like it ain't even the fact that they lost to the Falcons. I could care less. I'm not really I don't like the Falcons. I really don't. I don't like their fans. You know, they take real cheap shots when it comes about Hurricane Katrina and stuff like this. But I can care less. Like, they can come up here and talk about, oh, we beat y'all, but who cares at the end of the day? They not making the playoffs. I mean, yeah, you can say, oh, man, but we beat y'all, but who cares? Like, who cares? Like, at the end of the day, if this game ain't for putting somebody out the playoffs or a chance at the Super Bowl, who cares? Okay? The only thing that they actually did was move from the number 5 selection to the number 6 selection in the NFL draft. That's all they did. So, for all those fans that's probably about to come and try to troll New Orleans Saints fans, who cares, man? No, their damage basically ain't been done. The Saints' position still has not moved. So I could care less about the Falcons, like, for real. I'm just more upset at the fact that they just folded like a cheap tent like this. Like, this looked like shades of old New Orleans Saints. Y'all remember the New Orleans Saints of past. New Orleans Saints, they'll go up against San Francisco 49ers back in the day, and people are like, oh, man, you know, this is about to be an L. And they'll go out there and win. And then they'll turn around and have to play the lowly Cincinnati Bengals back in the day, and they'll go out there and lose. This is what this looks like. You got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. You cannot look at records. You cannot just assume that teams are phoning it in. You got to go out there and execute to the best of your ability. And they did not do that. And it was very, very disappointing. I mean, I got some stats, but I mean, honestly, ain't nothing but a bunch of padding up here right now. Padding stats. You had Drew Brees, who was 32 of 45, threw the ball way too much, in my opinion. 287 yards. He had a quarterback rating of 87.9. You had Alvin Kamara, 4 carries for 24 yards. Latavius Murray, 5 carries, 12 yards. Then you have at the receiver position, Michael Thomas, 13 catches, 152 yards. First off, congratulations to Michael Thomas, the fastest player to 400 catches. And he's also leading the league in receiving. So congratulations to him. He came to play. You had Jared Cook, 6 catches, 74 yards. Good to see that, he was out there playing. Then you have Alvin Kamara, 8 catches, 50 yards. And then here's the disappointing part. You had Traquan Smith, 1 catch, 13 yards. Tay again Jr., 0 receptions, 0 yards. Got targeted 3 times. 2 of those 3 times should have caught the ball. Taysom Hill, 1 catch, 3 yards. Zach Lyon, 2 catches, 5 yards. And Latavius with 2 catches for 7 yards. Then you had the defense, Demario Davis. He was out there doing his thing. He had 11 tackles, 7 solo. Von Bell, 7 tackles, 6 solo. A.J. Klein, 7 tackles and 5 solo. And then Marcus Williams, 7 tackles and 5 solo. Those are your New Orleans Saints today. Those are your stats. We can talk about penalties. We can talk about illegal hands to the face. Never seen these many illegal hands to the face penalties in my life. Never seen clipping. I mean, to me, they was calling this game way too close. Like, they were calling this game, like, really hella close. It comes a time when you just got to let these dudes play And it did seem kind of weird. It seemed like every time the Saints sustained the drive, it was a penalty. Every time the Saints get the Falcons off the field, it was a penalty. Man, it was just awful. Like, this was just awful, awful stuff. I never want to see this ever again. I never want to see this again. You know, I mean, I just call it for what it is. You know, like, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not even about the Falcons. I can care less. I can care less about the Falcons. Falcon fans are pathetic to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody that will come into a group after, you know what I'm saying, you winning your second game of the season, like, that just shows you how sad it is. You know, I'm more focused on what's going to happen next week. What's going to happen with them Tampa Bay Buccaneers? What are we going to do with that? You know, like I said, you need to burn this tape. You need to go ahead and move forward. You know, like 24-hour rule in effect when you win, 24-hour rule in effect when you lose. So, I mean, that's my opening statement. No, it's a little bit long, but it is what it is. You can always donate to the State of Saints podcast by hitting the super chat button. You can make donations, or you can use Streamlab. You can donate through Streamlab as well. Thank you all for checking out the podcast. Thanks for all 75 viewers of this podcast live right now. So I just want to say thank y'all for checking it out. You know, I really do appreciate this. So y'all know how we do it, man. We ask questions, you know, I answer them to the best of my ability. You know, like I said, I ain't no guru or nothing like that. I just call it for what it is. Yeah, so, you know, it is what it is. Archangel, you said no need to be salty. Take y'all L with a grain of salt. Hey, chop, chop. She won't chop, chop. Pancake astronaut. Man, thank you very much, man, for donating. Hey. Hey. Yeah, man. Pancake astronaut, thank you for your $2, man. You say you called it, man, trap game. I mean, it was. That's exactly what it was. It was a trap game, man. I mean, I saw it coming, and it is what it is. But you said no need to be salty. Take y'all L with a grain of salt. Eat y'all humble pie. Ain't nobody being humble. Like that's the thing. Like, who cares? That, you know, like, who cares? Like, you can come into a Saints group if you want to, but really, who cares? Like, is this game going to get you to playoffs? No. Is this game going to help you win a division? Nope. That's why I don't care. If the Saints and the Falcons were battling for the division, then maybe I'll be upset. But who cares? Like, at the end of the day, like, Saints still got to play them on Thanksgiving. They still can get a win then. And who, like I said, at the end of the day, who really cares? I care about the fact that they didn't play well. That's what I care about. Falcon fans, they can celebrate that all they want to because, like I said, they ain't got much to celebrate. I would celebrate too if I lost 6 straight games. So, but anyway, let me go ahead and ask some of these questions, man. Let me see. Chris Avery, what's going on, man? You said O-line played terrible. Yeah, it wasn't their best showing. Like I said, Andrews Pete got whooped. A lot of those plays, you know, they were kind of questionable to me. That false start penalty that they called on Teron Armstead was absolutely pathetic. Everybody and their mama seen that the Atlanta Falcons defensive line jumped on that play for some apparent reason. They saying false start. I don't know what this was about. I really don't. But Tier Solutions said you called it. O-line horrible. What up, TJ? You called it. Very upset. Archangel said, who that? We that today. Nah, y'all not that today. Y'all just won the game. We got exposed. We ain't get exposed, man. We ain't get, like, that's the thing. Like, we didn't get exposed in this game. The Saints did not get exposed. They just lost. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you're going to win some games, you're going to lose some games. They just lost this game today. They wasn't prepared. I don't know what it was. I don't know if guys, like I said, looking at these records, I don't know if they just thought that they were just going to go up in and coast. They looking at some of these articles and stuff like that. They looking at I don't know. They just looking at the fact that the record of the Falcons, even though they said they wasn't, maybe they just look past them, But I guarantee you, they're not gonna look past them again, and that's a good thing. And sometimes you gotta get, what I'm saying, like a little bit of the humble pie. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta get humble. You know what I'm saying? Like just for you to look at yourself and realize, like, okay, we got a lot of work to do, and I feel like that's what this was. So you got to be prepared. Uh, Let me see. Well, TJ, you were right. Uh, Weak as water, man. This game was bad, man. It probably this is the worst game they played all season. The only optimism, what I'm saying, that we have is probably the momentum that they had. It probably got kind of died down because they went on a bye week. That kind of made me wish maybe they had they bye week early. Then they probably wouldn't have lost this game. I just feel like that bye week came at a bad time. Even Cam Jordan was talking about that. Cam was like, he said, I wasn't ready to go on the bye week. He probably was right. Because when you have all these guys in the locker room together and y'all dialed in, it'd be hard to beat you. Let me see. Drew looked off today. Is that thumb really healed? I don't know what's going on with Drew Brees. I just know that Drew Brees, he's 40 years old, and he looked like it today. He looked like he was 40 today. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with that. I ain't for that, put Teddy Bridgewater in the game stuff. I ain't about all that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that they need to put Teddy in the game. I just think that Drew Brees didn't play well. But I will say that if Teddy was in the game, I think that some of them drives would have been sustained because Teddy probably would have ran and scrambled up out of the pocket. Drew Brees, he ain't about to do no scrambling. He gonna stand up in there in that pocket, and if that offensive line not blocking for him, it's gonna be a rough day. Let's see, who that? What happened? I didn't get to see the game working in Wyoming. William Musgrove, you didn't miss much, man. Like if you missed this game, probably was a good thing. Didn't do nothing but tick you off as a Saints fan because your team can play better than this. Too many penalties. Yeah, absolutely. Saints, they've been a pretty disciplined team, man. They ranked in the top 5 when it comes to like least penalized teams. So today they were just off, and hopefully we just never see this again. Why the F didn't Kamara only run the ball 4 times? Why? Because of Sean Payton's, I don't know, the game plan. It seemed like the game plan was to throw the ball all over the place like this was 2009, 2010. These are not the same Saints that we had back in the day, okay? This is not the same Saints team. The Saints are a run football team. Despite how they want to throw the ball all over the place, whatever, they are a running football team. So, when you are not running the football, they kind of put themselves in that position. So the Saints run the football to set up the play action for the big play. If you're doing a play action and you're not running the football, don't nobody respect that, and nobody believe that you're going to run the football. Therefore, they're going to pin their ears back and come right at the quarterback, what Grady Jarrett did all day. And, for a team that only has, they had 7 sacks throughout the whole season. They had 6 in this game. Like Drew Brees tied the record for most sacks that he ever had in a game. I think the last time he had these many sacks, he played against the San Francisco 49ers back in the day. That was the same year the Saints lost the divisional round of the playoffs to the 49ers. It was just awful, man. I mean, he wasn't getting no protection in this game. I don't know what was going on. We deserved this loss. People kept saying change the quarterback, but it's not the quarterback. O-line was not protecting after Andrews Pete went out. Then receivers not catching. Only 2 came to play was Marcus and Mike. Yep, that's what I said, man. Only 2 players that came to play. Archangel said it's a rivalry. It's definitely a rivalry. Drew was sad today. Held the ball too long. It wasn't about him. I mean, what was he supposed to do? If your receiver's not getting open, what was he supposed to do? It's hard. It's hard to throw the ball when your receiver's not winning their matchups. Let me see. What's good, T? I'm not mad at the L. I knew it was coming. My thing is ego will be our downfall. We do not have a number two receiver, and it will continue to bite us in the butt. We will not win the Super Bowl. Look, 504 Bull. I understand your frustrations. I do. I don't understand the stubbornness of Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints staff. I really don't. I don't understand why they just don't see that what they're doing actually not working. What Ted Ginn, like let's just address this. What Ted Ginn Jr. is good at, the Saints can't do, because even though Ted Ginn Jr. can fly past people, Drew Brees doesn't have the arm strength to get that ball down the field like he once did. I don't know if y'all seen that pass that he threw. I think it was maybe like the second to last drive that the Saints had. He tried to thread it between two defenders. I mean, that ball was a lame duck. And I feel like what the Saints need, they need a guy who can get separation. They need a guy that can get yards after the catch. I mean, they need somebody that is going to not only spread out the defense, you know what I'm saying, and make them respect the speed, but also understand, like, I don't know, man. It's just the fact that what Ted Ginn Jr. can do. I don't think Drew Brees gets the type of quarterback anymore. Like, if they were like back in the day, like when Devery Henderson and Robert Meacham was there, maybe. But I just feel like it's a different cat, and and him dropping them passes today. I mean, they don't need that, man. I'm telling you. Just like I said it today. I mean, like this week about the Falcons, teams are going to start buckling down on Michael Thomas. Yeah, he had 13 catches today, but if something happened to this guy, and if teams start double covering him, which they're going to, I mean, because look at these stats. Look at these stats for the last couple weeks. You have to be a complete moron to not look at these stats and see who you need to stop. You got to be a moron. And these coaches are not morons. They're going to double cover. They're going to chip this man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to do everything that they possibly can to neutralize him. Okay? They're going to do everything they can. And who is going to win these matchups? From what I've seen, absolutely nobody. Nobody is going to win these matchups. Facts. I'm sorry, man. Like, I love the Saints. I do, man. But I feel like what they're doing is going to cost them in the long run. Okay? Traquan Smith, like I said, tough catch he made today. Most people would have dropped that football. But at the end of the day, that was one catch for 13 yards. I mean, your team is down. Who is going to step up? Who is going to answer the call? Who is going to get the yards after the catch? Who is going to, when Michael Thomas gets double covered, who is going to make defenses pay? I don't see anybody. I don't see him. Jared Cook had a good game, but who is the other wide receiver? Who's it going to be? You need somebody else. You need somebody else. I'm sorry. Rather it's Dante Moncrief, rather it's Dez Bryant, rather be somebody else off the street. All these dudes that's coming in the game, all these packages, ain't fooling nobody. Okay? They not fooling nobody. You see Austin Carr walks his way out there. Who believes that Austin Carr is going to catch a football? Who believes that they have packages set up for Austin Carr? Hogan came in the game, I think, during the goal line situation. Who believes that Hogan, 6'3", 214 pounds, is going to come into the game and make some noise? Nobody believed it. We all know what it is. 3 people going to get this football in goal line situations. And teams know that. They know it. They know Alvin Kamara is going to get the ball. They know Michael Thomas is going to get the ball. They know Jared Cook is going to get the ball. Sprinkle a little Latavius Murray up in there for some apparent reason, didn't play as much. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But they need another receiver. It's time. It's time to make a call to somebody. It's time. I'm telling you, man. This was around the time. You know the ironic thing about this? I don't mean to scare Saints fans, but you remember when the Saints started to teeter a little bit? I think what it was around week 10 last year or something like that. When did they play the Cowboys? Wasn't that like week 10? When they went into Dallas and they end up losing that game, and the next thing you know, they start struggling offensively and teams started to kind of buckle down on them. Don't want to put this type of stuff on tape, man. But, I mean, I want to give some credit to some people, though. I'm going to give some credit, even though I feel like they struggled. I want to give credit to P.J. Williams, okay? I'm going to give some credit to him. Because the fact is, when Matt Ryan seen that Lattimore was out of the game, I mean, he was targeting him. And I really didn't see that much out of Ridley and Julio Jones in this game. I mean, I seen some catches, but I seen them battling, man. It was one catch that he knocked the ball out of Julio's hand and it caused an incomplete pass. Even though they went right back to the same play and they got the first down. But I can respect P.J. Williams just a little bit more. He tried to do his best. I mean, he's not Lattimore. He is not. Eli Apple, I mean, he played with a little bit of confidence today. Demario Davis played outstanding today. Cam Jordan, probably one of his worst games he had all season. They just got to play better, man. I just think that people, I don't know if they were just not prepared or they just underestimated the Falcons, but you can't play like that. So I'm looking at this. We were peed and playing for Quinn's job. Yeah, I mean, that goes to show you right there that how much that team respects Dan Quinn. That goes to show you how much they respect him. They want him to stay there. So I'm glad, man. I'm happy. You know, like, I mean, Dan Quinn, I feel like they would have fired that man. That just would have been totally unfair. And they only would have been firing him because of, everybody wants to get that young offensive Sean McVay type coach. And he's not it. He's more defensive minded. So, I'm glad that the guy, they ain't going to fire the dude, because I'm pretty sure Arthur Blank looked at this game, circled it on his calendar, and this is one game that he's glad that they won. Giving you a who dat TJ from Italy. What's going on, Herman? Army strong. Happy Veterans Day to my brothers and sisters who served and currently serving. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Herman, man, out there in Italy. And also happy Veterans Day to all the veterans we have out there. I want to give a special salute to my older brother, Sam Jones. Served 3 tours of Iraq. My big brother, want to say happy Veterans Day to you, man. I love you. I know you're checking out this video. I probably will check out this video if you're not watching it live, man. Much love to you. Happy Veterans Day, and hope you're enjoying it, man. I hope you enjoy it. Veterans Day is tomorrow, right? If I'm not mistaken. It's on Monday. But, everybody like Veterans Day weekend and stuff like that. So, I mean, all that, to me, kind of coincides with it. So, I feel like it starts on the weekend. So, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Nobody seemed into it. Why didn't they use Kamara more? Also, why did the Saints get too comfortable at some point during the season? I don't feel like they got comfortable, man. Let's pump the brakes, okay? This is just one bad game, okay? We don't need to be out here, overanalyzing and cutting this dude and benching this man. Like, it was just a bad game, okay? They're not cocky. I just feel like they were not ready for this game. And it's not the end of the world, okay? Like, teams lose. I mean, I looked at the game last week. Chargers beat down the Green Bay Packers, right? Green Bay Packers only had one loss. Came up in there, Los Angeles got beat. Same team just lost to the Oakland Raiders on Thursday night. So, like I said, any team can beat any other team on any given Sunday. No matter the record, no matter the personnel, no matter the coach. Okay? Any team can beat any other team on any given Sunday. And I think people just need to understand that. I don't feel like that, the sky's falling and, it's a loss. And, as Saints fans, we don't want the team to lose. But, I mean, I didn't believe they were going to go like 15-1 or nothing like that. That would have been nice. But, I mean, you win some, you lose some. Archangel, I guess a Falcon fan, he said, yep, playing spoiler. Yeah, y'all played spoiler today. I'm sick of the Falcon fans. Man, like I said, let them have their fun, okay? Let them have their fun. They're going to, we know how it go. Let them have their fun, and when they watching us in the playoffs, when they watching the Saints in the playoffs and they at home, they're going to be like, but we beat them in week 10. But we beat them in week 10. Y'all may be in the NFC Championship game, but we beat y'all in week 10. Y'all may be in the Super Bowl, but we beat y'all in week 10. Y'all hosted the Lombardi Trophy, but we beat y'all in week 10. Who that? We didn't run the ball, and the O-line wasn't cutting it today. We will bounce back, though. Troy, I absolutely agree with you. It just wasn't the Saints' day. I hope Lattimore, Pete, and Thomas are okay. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I hope everybody okay. Falcons got away with a good number of false starts, but we still had too many flags as well. Look, Chosen Kingston, yeah, could they have called the game a little bit more loose? Absolutely. But I'm not going to sit up here and just say that was the main reason why they lost. I feel like that was the reason why the game was kept close for a while. But at the end of the day, I mean, the Falcons just came in. They just blew the doors off the place, man. I'm sorry. Like, we may not want to hear that, but that's what happened. They blew the doors off the place. They beat the Saints. Every facet of the game. Perfect. Like, honestly, the game plan was perfect. They controlled time of possession. They ran the football. They did everything. They did everything a away team is supposed to do going against a home team. They did it. Okay? They did exactly that. And I think that the Saints weren't prepared. I think that the defensive game plan, they were not prepared for the Falcons to be running the football as much as they did because the Falcons were struggling running the football and the Saints weren't prepared. You can never underestimate your opponent. And this taught the Saints a valid lesson today. So hopefully they received that lesson and we don't see this going down the line. Offensive line laid an egg today. Yeah, wasn't their best showing. Probably the worst showing I've seen since they played the Rams. Saints were dominating all phases. Good game, Falcons, from the Saints fan. Yeah, I mean, it was they won. That all there is to it. They won the game. Yeah, like I said, I'm not even upset at the fact that they the Falcons and they beat the Saints. I'm just more upset at the Saints losing to anybody. I mean, plug and play. This could have been anybody. I just don't like seeing them lose. And if you're going to lose with some heart, okay? I mean, if you're going to lose laying everything on the line. They did not, okay? And quite honestly, I think they got a little spoiled, and I think that we all got a little spoiled because anytime we see a score like this, we always just kind of look and be like, yeah, they're going to come back. Because, I mean, they have been proven for the last couple of years, like no matter how damaging the score looks, they still go to come back and make it interesting, even if they do lose. I'm all for promoting Butler and LJH Again, drops too many for my taste. Yeah, he dropped too many passes today, man. I mean, but that's Ted Ginn MO, man. That's always what he's done. He's always dropped the football, man. He's never had sure hands. He's always been a speedy guy, but he always struggled when it came to pass catching. And one of the main reasons why he's still in the league because he can still blow past people and he can really fly. Iceman T, if there was ever a time to sign Dez Bryant, is now. You sign Dez Bryant and if he's in shape. You don't sign Dez Bryant because his name is Dez Bryant. Okay, you call him in, you give him a physical. If he passed that physical, you feel like he can contribute to the team. You don't feel like that Achilles is really going to be something that affected his, his ability to do what he's done in the past. Then you sign him. If he has any issues, much love to Dez Bryant, but he cannot be beneficial to the team. He just would be a number 88 with the name Bryant on the back, and kind of similar to Adrian Peterson. Like number 28 Peterson, like it was cool that Adrian Peterson played for the Saints, but he ain't do nothing. So Ted Ginn doesn't know how to catch. That comes from War Eagle. Yeah, he struggles with the pass catching. Drew was looking for stats. Terrible play calling today. Penalties killed us all game long. I don't know if Drew was looking for stats. Drew doesn't call the plays. Sean Payton does. So if anybody was looking for some stats, Sean Payton was. I think at the last drive of the game, I think those guys, they were just trying to sustain the drive. Sometimes coaches do that, man. Be like, man, we ain't doing anything right in this game. I just want to see something right. And, they got down there, and they got down to the one, but they didn't score. We need another wide receiver now. I agree. Crazy Rich 2, I want to die. Nah, bro, don't die now. I mean, don't get that serious. It's just a football game, okay? I mean, they got plenty more. The Saints, they got about 6 more games to play. So it ain't worth dying over. Like it is what it is, man. You win some, you lose some. Sign Dez Bryant. Can we please get a number 2 receiver? No Freedom, no Freeman, no Trufant, no Smith, no Hooper. 31st ranked defense, 1-7 at home. Yep, yeah, y'all. I mean, Austin Hooper played in the game. He caught a touchdown. He just got hurt in the game. Trufant, let's be honest about this, bro. He not really that good. And Freeman ain't really done nothing since, since he been dealing with injuries, he hasn't done anything. So, if you want to just take, credit and say, it was a team effort. Like they really rallied together as a team in order to get this victory. And you got to give them credit. But like I said, the New Orleans Saints, they got to bounce back from this game. We got to hurry up and get another. I guess you mean receiver. If they don't go get Dez and stop playing, go get somebody. Call AB. I don't give a F. I ain't for no getting no Antonio Brown. Man, yeah, I don't know. I think they need to get another receiver, but man, let's not act like these dudes like, I don't know, 3-5 or something like that, man. These guys are 7-2. Like, they only lost 2 games. Okay, you're going to lose football games. Like, unless you like the 2007 Patriots or something like that, you're going to lose some games. Like I said, I know Saints fans don't like Falcon fans, and you probably got some obnoxious friends that's Falcons fans, or you're in groups that have Falcon fans, and y'all kind of go back and forth. But at the end of the day, there's more important things than just losing to the Falcons. I don't want to say who cares, but they have so many other games they got to play, man. These division games are so important. You got to beat Tampa. Then you got to play Carolina. So these Falcons, man, they got to be in your rear view for right now. You got to focus on them Buccaneers, man. Okay, that's who you got to focus on. What happened to Taysom? Peyton didn't utilize Taysom that much on 3rd down. Probably didn't do it because of sometimes the flow of the game. The Saints will probably put him out there, but when the Saints start to get down, that's when Sean Payton get a little bit more conventional. We also stopped using Taysom Hill. Yeah, we stopped using him, like I said, because they wasn't utilizing him because the game was starting to get out of hand. What happened to Lattimore? He had a hamstring injury. So hopefully it's not something that'll keep him out, because if it does, man, it's gonna be rough. And to be honest with you, it was a huge blow. It was a huge blow because the thing about it is the Saints knew when P.J. Williams was in the game it's going to be a struggle. That's the reason why they started blitzing. Like, Dennis Allen does not blitz. I don't know if you all know that or not, but he does not blitz because the front four get home most of the time. They get pressure on the quarterback. And when you had Lattimore out there, you had a guy that can go up against the best receiver on the team that you're going up against. You didn't really have to. But when you have P.J. Williams out there, and if your if your front four doesn't get home, that gives the quarterback time to look down the field. And we all know that P.J. Williams does not have good recovery speed. So if it gives that quarterback an opportunity to throw the ball down the field, 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be a big gain or possibly a touchdown. So that's the reason why they were blitzing in the game, to try to get Matt Ryan off his spot and also to try to get the ball out of his hands faster. That way, if he's throwing the ball, and his receiver is wide open, he won't have opportunity to see it because the pressure is coming. So when you have Marshawn Lattimore in the game, you don't have to too much worry about that because, he has like those elite covering skills, so he can cover that number one. And when he went out, that's when they started blitzing. Why keep playing defense if offense can't do nothing? Because you're a team, Because you're a team, Greg. Just like when the defense is not playing well and the offense clicking on all cylinders, the offense got to go out there and they got to execute. It's all about pride. Pride won the game for the Falcons today. The Falcons could have easily just said, 9-7 teams, 8-8 teams not gonna make the playoffs in the NFC, man. So we can go ahead and, coast. Nah, they're a prideful team. And the Saints have a prideful team. I'm glad that they were playing defensively, man. That's the type of guys you want for your squad. You want guys to keep on playing, man. You want guys to keep on hustling. So what, you down by 3 touchdowns? Go out there and make a play. Go out there and force a fumble. Go out there and make an interception. That's what teams do. That's what good teams do. Okay? They could have easily phoned it in at the end of the game. They could have took knees, but that's not how they roll. They went out there and they played from start to finish. Rather, what they put on the field was sorry or not. They played to the end. And that right there is what a team that I would love to root for. A team that don't give up no matter how insurmountable the lead is, no matter how much the odds are. You go out there and you execute. I got respect for that. So if they continue to play defense and they, forcing guys to field goals, much respect to them. Straight up. This may set fire under the Saints. Maybe humble pie. Yeah, maybe, man. Maybe. And Archangel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to think, I'm trying to be disrespectful to you. I thank you for checking out the podcast. This is just my personal opinion, about it. Like I understand. I'm pretty sure you're a Falcon fan looking at your icon, but I just feel like there's bigger fish to fry. I'm really about the 24-hour rule. Like I'll be happy the Saints be winning, but but at the end of the day, I just feel like it's just certain things that I'm just looking forward to, and the Saints making a playoff and playoff positioning is one of them. So I'm upset about them losing this game based on the opportunity that presented itself. Like the opportunity that they had to possibly have home field advantage. The possibility they have to, jump in front of the San Francisco 49ers. And that's squandered. So no matter if the Seattle Seahawks win or not on Monday Night Football, it won't help the Saints at all. So that's what bothers me. More so than anything else. PJ on Julio. Good game plan. Yeah, that was horrible. But I mean, to the Saints' defense, I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't come out thinking that there would be a possibility that PJ Williams would be on Julio Jones. That wasn't part of the game plan. It's part of the master plan. Gotta save damn Quinn's job. My positive thought for the day. Yeah, man. I mean, I hope they keep that guy. Like I said, man, he didn't do anything to get fired. I mean, he what brought the Falcons to the Super Bowl playoff appearances. Just a couple years they've been down. So I don't feel like he needs to get fired. That'd be a big mistake if they fire that guy. This was my Falcons Super Bowl. Yeah, revenge to 28-3. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it might have been a revenge game. I mean, but like I said, I mean, fans were saying that this was their Super Bowl, and if they don't win another game this season, beat the Saints, at least Atlanta will play themselves out of getting Ohio State University player. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Falcons are a prideful team, man. So they showed it today. Y'all still 2-7. And that was the second game the Saints didn't score a touchdown. Yeah, that's the second game they didn't score a touchdown. I mean, but that's pretty alarming, man. You got to call it for what it is. Drew Brees, 40 years old. You only have like one receiver on your squad that can get separation, that can get yards after the catch. You got a running back who disguised as a wide receiver. You got a quarterback disguised as a tight end. That tell you everything you need to know right there. I mean, you got guys playing positions that don't belong to them, okay? And I just feel like it's cool and all that kind of stuff because, you know, you can kind of throw people off, but they need a number two. They need a number two receiver, man. And God bless Traquan Smith, but he ain't it. He ain't it, man. Traquan Smith reminds me of a slower Robert Meacham. That's who he remind me of, you know. Like, Robert Meacham, you know, he ain't about to wow you with nothing that he do. Every now and then he might come up with a catch, and you be like, okay, Rob. You know what I'm saying? But that's Traquan Smith. We'll be okay next year. We just wanted to play spoiler. Pete stayed on his damn knees. Pete was on his knees when he let Donald injure Drew. Yeah, Andrews Pete, he has up and down games, man. You know, like he has games where he just look like he just unstoppable. And then he have games where he just look like he just absolutely garbage. And there's only been 2 games I can just truly say he struggled. So I give him the benefit of the doubt. Just wasn't his game, man. But it wasn't a lot of Saints players' game. It wasn't a lot of people's game. So, I mean, they all got to hold that L. They got to hold it up high and I don't want to say proud, but they got to hold it up high. First, the Rams 9 points. Today, the Falcons 9 points. Yeah. Well, at least we know that Will Lutz is back. I mean, he struggled, you know, so, I mean, at least we know that Will Lutz is getting back to being Will Lutz. Glennon Smith ain't helping. Need to sign Dez if he's healthy. If he's healthy, proud. If he's healthy. Let's see. This was a trap game. I agree. Falcon fans, let's see. When they still have Dan Quinn next year, yeah, they probably. I mean, I don't know, man. I think they're gonna lose to. I think they're gonna beat them on Thanksgiving. I think the Saints gonna beat them on Thanksgiving. I think they not. You know, the Saints. They gonna have the Saints undivided attention in this game. They undivided attention, like, and that's probably something that they need. And me. When you think about it, as a Saints fan, you might want to be glad that this happened. Because the Saints have been through all types of adversity. I mean, just wacky, weird, out of this world type situations. I mean, the Minnesota Miracle, the pass interference, and now, losing to a one-loss team. Like, you basically have put yourself in so many different scenarios where you know exactly what to do. You know exactly how to execute. You know exactly to not take your opponent lightly. So that might be a good thing. We definitely need a number two receiver. Ted Ginn is not it. Our O line got abused. We did not respect this team. No, they did not. They did not respect this team. I feel like the only reason why they were saying some of the stuff they were saying is because, you talking to the media, you got to be politically correct, but behind closed doors, dudes probably was reading magazines, checking Twitter, and not really focusing on his team because they just thought our team was better than theirs, and that's it. Sean Payton went one dimensional, man the run game. Yeah, I I don't know what was going on. I don't know why he didn't run the football. What was going on with that? I mean, even like the Falcons struggle on run defense. So I'm like, why weren't you running the football? Packers tied at 7. That seemed like that was a while back. Can somebody tell me the score of the Panthers and Packers game, please? Put in Easton over Pete. I don't agree with that. This was just one bad game by Andrews Pete. Oh yeah, Dante Harris. I forgot about him, man. Absolutely, Dante Harris played outstanding today, special teams. Flipped the field a couple times, man, and he definitely wasn't the reason why the Saints lost because he gave the Saints good field position time and time again. They did absolutely nothing with it. Come on, man. Like, Jerry, you my guy, but come on, man. Like, this is just one bad game by Andrews Pete, man. Like he has had 2 bad games this whole season. It was that game and the Rams. Besides that, man, I mean, he been a steady hand. Like, let's not get carried away here. Like, let's not get carried away. Like, this is just a loss, and I understand when you lose, you're wondering why you lost. But at the end of the day, let's focus on the fact that there was just a bad game. And it was just for Andrews Pete. It wasn't just for him. It's for a lot of people. I mean, you're going to have bad games, man. But for the most part, Andrews Pete has played outstanding this season. I've seen him wipe out cornerbacks, linebackers on screen plays. I've seen him pancake guys to the ground. It's easy for us to see and look at these things when they don't win, okay? But I've watched this guy, and I got to tell you, somebody's going to be paying this man a whole lot of money next season, okay? Because he's good. Like, Andrews Pete is good. I mean, he has some up and down games, but somebody's going to pay this man a lot of money. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be a Saint next year. I think they're probably going to get somebody in a draft, or they're probably going to promote somebody that they already have to the offensive line. But somebody's going to pay Andrews Pete a lot of money because he is a good offensive lineman. He just had a bad game. I mean, charge it to the game. Saints lost to the bye week. Yeah. Like, I seen a lot of guys having too much fun during bye week, and I just think that they just probably had extra fun because they felt like we just coming back to play the Falcons, man. It's all good, no big deal. We at home. I didn't see many screens either. I didn't either. Let's see. They better wake up. Well, this woke them up. I think they're going to take this real serious. Melissa Williams, y'all think Teddy will have game time next Sunday? No, he will not. Melissa, I think this is the last we probably going to see a Teddy Bridgewater. And the only time we're going to see Teddy is he posts something on social media. Unless Drew Brees does something that is like season ending, like pulls, like tear something or re-aggravate his finger or something like that, you will not see Teddy Bridgewater. You will not see him. And I'm pretty sure Sean Payton not going to go for that. And the Falcons still dead last in the division. I'm sick to my stomach about this game, but I'm still with my Saints. F how MFers feel. There's flukes in football. This was one. I ain't about to say no fluke. Nah, there ain't no fluke. This was a loss. Okay, a fluke is if you kick a field goal and it hits like the sidebar and it goes in. Fluke if You bat the ball up in the air and 3 or 4 dudes, you know what I'm saying, bat it back and it falls all the way back to a catch and somebody catching in the back of the end zone. A fluke, I don't know, is just a quarterback getting tackled or something like that. The ball pop up in the air and the guy takes it for 20 yards. That's fluke. This was a L. They just lost, man. Y'all can't expect to go nowhere this year losing to a 1-7 31st defensive team, though. I completely disagree with you on that one, bro. Like, it's a divisional game. So, I understand, like, team one talking greasy, but let's just be honest about this. This was a divisional game. When you're playing against your divisional rivals, you understand the tendencies of their players. You know who you're going up against. You know who the matchups are. You know who the weak links are. So, let's just be honest. Like if you're saying like they ain't going nowhere, please. I mean, it's a divisional game. I never make fun of Katrina. I hope not, man. I hope not. But some of the fans out there, they not as classy as you are. Let's see. They not making the playoffs anyway. Let them talk. Yeah, I mean, let them have their day. They ain't have many days. I mean, they've been on a 6-game losing streak. Let them talk. And they beat the Saints. Come on, man. Like, let's just be honest about this. How many LSU fans out there right now that's happy? The LSU Tigers have not beaten Alabama Crimson Tide in 8 years. Okay? 8 years. They won yesterday. We talk it as greasy as we want to. Okay, we are. We excited. We happy. We talking about Joe Burrow for Heisman. We talking about Edwards Hilaire. Man, we talking about all these cats, man. We talking about Jefferson and Chase. All them dudes, man. But the Tigers have not beaten the Crimson Tide in 8 years. But who cares? This is our day. Let them talk. Yesterday was LSU Tiger fans' day. This is Atlanta Falcons' day. Let them talk. Let them talk. Let them say whatever they want to say. You just got to accept it. Like, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, they're going to be going back and forth, and some of the things they're going to say going to strike a nerve, but they earned it today. It is what it is. Not going to make the playoff. Not going to benefit them anyway. Like not division-wise, playoff-wise, but they won. So it is what it is. Easton trash. He can't even be Clap. And he put the blame. He got hurt. Clap got whooped. Because Clap is a center. Like, I mean, he the one that snapped the ball. Just him being in at the guard position was laughable. That's not his primary position. Will Clapp, he plays under center most of the time. That's where he's comfortable. They played like garbage, stunk it up badly. Michael Thomas and Cook was the only ones catching the ball. That's every week though. That's every week. that's the only two that catch the ball every week. They throw a Kamara in there when he's healthy. And the reason why Kamara wasn't really playing, I mean, this is his first game back, man. Let the man get some game under his belt, before we be talking about how bad, he played or something. Look, he just, that was his first game back. If I was a Saints fan, I'd be ticked off. We played terrible. I think we'll be okay. I know they'll be okay. This some BS. We deserve the L after how we played. We troll y'all like y'all troll us. It's a rivalry. What you expect? You talking about like troll? Like, man, y'all like Atlanta Falcon fans, they can troll all they want to. I say it's not going to help you get back into the division. Still last in the division, which I find it funny. Like, this is like, I feel like a person that's talking like when their team is not successful. It's like, I don't know. It's like a little kid that's like 5 years old, like punching a guy that's like 6'4", 300 pounds or something like that. You know, that's kind of like how I feel like it's not really doing anything. It's like the kid is putting everything he or she possibly can into it, but the big grown up is just laughing at him. Like that's how I feel about people. Like I have a friend of mine, he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, like, and he was talking about it. I'm like, your team, like as good as they've been playing over the last couple of weeks, they still ain't in playoff position. They still ain't winning their division. Like, what is you talking about? You know, so I just find it funny. I'm be honest. I find it funny. If you're a 49er fan and you're talking to me, then you got my attention. If you're a Green Bay Packer fan and you talking, you got my attention. But if your team only won 2 games or 1 game or 4 games, like, I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Let's see. O-line did not play. Yeah, everybody seems like they blaming the O-line. It seems like everybody blaming the O-line about this one. Yeah, I mean, they played horrible, man. You can't call it for what it is. Let me see. ATL finalists. Yeah, we beat the goal off y'all helmets today, boy. Okay. This was the first time being healthy as a whole team since week 2. Let's see. Our timing and chemistry was off. We will beat the Falcons. Helmets off next time. The best thing that happened today was the return and the catch. Boy, y'all really mad and sad on the inside. Who cares, bro? Sad on the end. Man, if this was like for a playoff game, I'd be sad. Y'all, like, the Falcons have done, I want the Falcons fans to understand this. They beat the Saints today, but beating the Saints did absolutely nothing. If the Green Bay Packers beat the Panthers today, the Saints still got the 2-game lead. The Saints still are going to be number 2 in the NFC. What you have done basically benefits you all and give you all a smile on your face, but it's done absolutely nothing at all. It didn't ruin the Saints season. It didn't cost the Saints home field advantage throughout the playoffs. None of that. All it did was give you guys go from 1 win to 2. That's it. I mean, I don't get it. Sad inside? No. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't like. Sean Payton is being stubborn, not getting the receivers, and he is not promoting D. Butler. You talking about Emmanuel Butler, I assume, Trey Sean. I don't think that you need to recruit him, man. Look, man, putting this man out here, it's only going to affect, like, mess with his confidence, man. Like, let him red shirt, you know what I'm saying, sit on the practice squad, and then, you know, they get him where he needs to be and have him ready for next season. Yeah, I'm not mad at that, man. Look, if he was good enough, then he'll be on the field. I don't think he's ready to be on the field. Okay, I mean, even in preseason, I mean, he was tearing it up in training camp, but in the games, he wasn't doing nothing. So get him prepared. Let him get a couple games under his belt next season. Then we can talk. Not worried about that. Falcon fans are too funny. Look at y'all record. ATL Finder says Saints exposed. How did the Saints get exposed, dude? How? How did they get exposed? Somebody tell me, how did the Saints get exposed? They lost, man. Did the Saints get exposed when they beat the Rams and then they went on a 6-game winning streak, dude? I mean, come on, man. Like, let's just be honest. Like, the Falcons won the game. That's it. Let's see. Who needs to eat humble pie? 7-2, 2-7. No touchdowns. Now he's saying no touchdowns. Dallas Cowboy game, dude. No touchdowns, right? Saints didn't score any touchdowns in that game, and they won the game. Okay? The Saints don't have to score a whole bunch of touchdowns in order to win a football game. Once again, dude, y'all won the game. That's it. It's not going to benefit anything whatsoever. It's not going to help y'all. It's not going to benefit y'all. It didn't hurt the Saints at all. It just gives you all bragging rights until the end of the season. And that's it. Saints going to continue. The Saints are going to continue, in my opinion, to go all the way to the playoffs. And the Falcons are not. So what's going to happen then? When that happens, then they're going to be like, well, we beat y'all. Like, y'all can have it. Like, what would you rather want? Like, honestly, if you can change anything about this right now, would you take the Saints beating y'all and y'all going to the playoffs? Wouldn't you want to take that? I mean, y'all can have that win. I'd rather be 7-2 and on the way to playoff to be 2-7, being happy that I beat a team that's, I guess my rival or whatever like that. So it is what it is. This is the first time Atlanta beat us in the 3 games, I believe. Yeah, it is. Yeah, they haven't beaten New Orleans Saints since 2017. So they have a lot to be happy about. Went to church this morning with my Breeze jersey and cap. So I'm happy. Yeah, our season trashed up to this point. Pennywise, we trashed. No, we're not trash. We just lost. This was like the Carolina game in Week 17, to be honest. 28-3. Beginning of a losing streak for y'all, bruh. Okay, yeah. We can only hope, right? Falcons are still trash. ATL, let me see. Better ever Chase Young. For real, for real. Remember the Vikings. I remember the Vikings, but I do remember the Saints beating before this game, going on a 3-game winning streak. And the Vikings, they did beat the Saints, but I can remember the Saints on Sunday Night Football beating the brakes off the Minnesota Vikings last season. See, it's not about, it's not about teams just beating you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go back and you right the wrongs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the Saints did that on primetime television. My question is to Atlanta Falcon fans, let me be petty for a second. Did y'all go back and advance that game against the New England Patriots? I don't think so, because even when y'all played the Patriots, they beat y'all. Okay? ATL better get Chase Young or Justin Fields. Let's see. We are not, y'all. Let's see. At least LSU won. Falcons still suck. We seen what happened to the Saints in the last 2 playoff games. We seen what happened to the Saints in the last 2 playoff games, but we haven't seen what happened to the Falcons in the last 2 playoff games because they wasn't there. See, that's where the focus needs to be on, Atlanta. Like, that's what y'all focus needs to be on. Like, beating the Saints, that's cool. But what about going to the Super Bowl? What about, like, going to the playoffs? What about winning the division? Like, that's, like, who? I'd rather win a division, lose to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather do that. I'd rather, as long as the Saints win the division, I do not care. I don't care. Like, it shouldn't matter. And that's the way y'all should think. Yeah, like, isn't it a problem that y'all haven't been to the playoffs in the last 2 seasons? Like, how do y'all feel about that? Do you think we were overconfident? I absolutely 100% believe that we were overconfident. I feel like they just looked past the Falcons. You shouldn't, and they shouldn't do that. Like, they shouldn't have done that, but they did. And they learned their lesson. You can't look past anybody. We got to see the Falcons again. Don't worry. It's really all love, bro, but you know how this rivalry go. ATL finding, man, look, you've been watching this channel, man, since I don't know how long, you know what I'm saying? So you always show me love. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? Much love to you. Archangel, I see you in there. Much love to you too. Like I said, man, I love everybody that check out my channel. I do. You know what I'm saying? It's all love at the end of the day. I'm just saying, like, my main focus is on the playoffs, the next game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's it. We beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. That's the important thing. You know, Saints doing that. It took flukes to beat the Saints. What are y'all talking about? I still have 100% confidence in this team. And Atlanta, how you gonna hate from the outside of the playoffs? You can't even get in. Quit Chris Brown reference right there. Come, look, Pennywise. Look, check this out, man. Like, please, y'all. Like, my nephews and younger viewers, check out this podcast, okay? So they can see what y'all saying. So let's cut the profanity down. You know what I'm saying? Like, please. That's all I'm asking. Please. You know, I understand people upset when you're talking about your squads and the fact that you lost and it get a little emotional, but please, come on, man. Respect the younger viewers. We are Falcon fans, even on this podcast. Shouldn't they want to be somewhere celebrating the Falcon? Man, nah, young blood. Look, I'm glad they're here. No, I'm glad y'all here. Look, they can spend time with us. I don't care. I don't care. They can spend time with us. I appreciate it. I really do. And I also want them to check out podcast the NFC South versus the NFL that I do with Mike Ricks and my boy DJ Hopkins. Mike is a Panthers fan. DJ is a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. Of course, I represent the Saints. We don't have any Falcon fans. So this is what I want y'all to do. Okay, we do it live every Tuesday night. Okay, this is what I want y'all to do. If somebody that's an Atlanta Falcon fan that's going down this timeline, I will allow you to represent the Atlanta Falcons on the podcast if you want to. All you have to do is email me at stateofthesaints@gmail.com. You can let me know your name. Let me know you're a Falcon fan. We'll put you on the show. You know, you can talk and brag and all that kind of stuff there because we have been looking for an Atlanta Falcon fan all season. Trust me, we have been looking. We have been soliciting help from the Atlanta Falcon fan base, and yet we could not find not one Atlanta Falcon fan to be on the show. And I mean, I was looking in groups and everything. And I was like, wow, man, like nobody won't represent the Falcons? Okay, so this is your time to shine. State of the Saints at gmail.com. Hit me up. You can be on the show. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what you have to say about your 2-7 record. I would love to hear you talk about the Saints game victory. I would love it. Real talk. And I will sit back and I will listen to it and we can go back and forth and talk about the game. I would love it. No doubt. I respect everybody who has love and passion for their team. I do. I really do. We love to troll just like Saints fans love to troll us. I don't like to troll anybody. But I do, you know what I'm saying? Saints fans and Falcon fans really do love to troll each other. We got to call it for what it is. But, hey, we still got unfinished business. You're a funny guy. We need a wake-up call. I know everyone doesn't agree with me, but we need to go get Dez Bryant if he's healthy. Look, I need everybody that said we're going to get Dez Bryant, just put in parentheses, if he's healthy. All right? I want to be a special guest on the show. Chosen Kingston, absolutely, man. If you want to be a special guest on the show, like I said, email me, stateofsaints@gmail.com. I'll give you the particulars. I'll talk to my other co-hosts. They would love to have different guests on the show, no doubt. Dez isn't the answer. He already had bad route running skills, and he's coming off injury. Yeah, that's a good thought, Darcy. But Sean Payton would know how to use him, so I would have to say that might be a good move. But if it came down to it, I would prefer Dante Moncrief over Dez Bryant. I think that Dante Moncrief might be more beneficial. I think that Dez Bryant would just be, his name would be more bigger than the production he would have on the field versus Dante Moncrief. TJ, what receiver do you think we should get from agents list? That's why I said Dante Moncrief. We would beat Falcons 29 out of 30 times this season if we played them that many times. I don't know. That remains to be seen. Can't say that. Not after today. Dez hasn't played in 3 years. That is true. Saints was eating the cheese all bye week. Peyton should have had let the players take off. Well, he didn't have no choice, man. That was a bye week, and according to NFL regulations, I mean, they're not even really supposed to be in a facility like that. You know, like, I mean, they can be in a facility, but their bye week is for them to do things that they have not done. I mean, you have to understand. I mean, think about you having a job. Man, these guys have been going at it since training camp. You have to show up to the facility every single day. I mean, come on, man. That's tough. Every single day you have to show up to the facility, and it's been like that since training camp. So, I mean, these guys probably ain't seen their family chill with their friends or nothing like that all that time. So, I ain't mad at them getting the bye week. Because if they would have ended up beating the Falcons off the bye week, we wouldn't have said anything. Let's see. Art, we should have been in the Super Bowl 2018, 2017. These are the years we would have been in the Super Bowl. I know you agree. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like y'all going back and forth about the Super Bowls and stuff like that. But this is my final statement before I get up out of here. And once again, thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. I do this every single week for all the new people. And if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. This is my final statement. The New Orleans Saints got beat down today. And it's cool. It's cool they got beat down. And I'm happy that they actually sustained this type of loss because it opens up their eyes and helps them to realize that any team can beat any other team on any given Sunday. Power rankings don't matter. Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, Mike Greenberg, Skip and Shannon, none of them matter, okay? I mean, none of that stuff matters. The people on First Thing First, they can have these type of conversations. Who's the best team? Who is the worst team? Who is this, that, and the third? Power rankings. Here's my top 5, this, that, and the third. None of that stuff matters. When you get out there on that field, you got to perform, okay? The person that you're going up against needs to be blank. You need to have a fill in the blank type mentality, okay? And they've been having it for 6 weeks, and they took a week off. And then they came back, and they were not ready. But I feel like the New Orleans Saints, they will be ready. They will look at this tape on tomorrow. They will learn from their mistakes. They will clean up those mistakes. Hopefully, we don't have any significant injuries like Lattimore, who has been playing outstanding all season long. It's unfortunate that he dealt with a hamstring injury, and it's kind of alarming because that's something that he used to deal with while he was in college. So it's kind of alarming. Hopefully, it's not nothing very, very serious because the Saints need this guy on the field. I want to see better production from the New Orleans Saints. I would like to see better production out of these receivers on the team. Michael Thomas has been doing an outstanding job. Played with a lot of heart today. Marcus Williams once again. Deontay Harris. Mario Davis, guys play with heart. They got to go out here and they got to perform better. They should never put anything like this on the field ever again. They should never, ever go out there and underestimate their opponent like they did today. And that's all that you can say about this game. It wasn't because the Falcons were that much better than the Saints. It was the fact that the Saints did not take the Falcons serious. But I want to say congratulations to the Atlanta Falcons. I really do because, man, I was all for Dan Quinn keeping the job. I felt like this man was getting the short end of the stick, and I feel like the media was kind of putting them little pellets out there, you know what I'm saying, like just so Arthur Blank and these other guys can take. I still feel like y'all need a new general manager, but I don't feel like y'all need another head coach. So hopefully this win right here can put a smile on the face of Arthur Blank, and Dan Quinn can keep his job. But the New Orleans Saints, they have a lot more work to do. They got a bunch of division games. They got Tampa Bay, then they got Carolina, and then they have Atlanta again. So what kind of team you going to be? Are you going to be that team that read your press clippings? Are you going to be that team that remembered how disappointed you were in the last 2 years of the playoffs? Are you going to be that team that plays with that chip on your shoulder like you've been playing for the last 6 years? I mean, not 6 years, but the last 2 years. Hopefully, we see another Saints team next week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a more ready New Orleans Saints team. And next week, there aren't any excuses because there is no bye week. And hopefully, the squad will be ready. But this has been the State of the Saints podcast. Please subscribe to the channel once again. Thank you all for checking out the podcast. And be on the lookout for my daily topics. I have a daily topic every single day that I talk about the New Orleans Saints. Well, not every single day, but Monday through Friday. I pick a topic. And also feel free to send me topics that you want me to talk about. stateofthesaints@gmail.com, or you can go to facebook.com, search the State of the Saints podcast, and inbox me. And just let me know what you would like for me to talk about. I pick a topic every single day, and we discuss it. So thank you all very much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Shouts out to the Atlanta Falcon fans that were in the chat, making it more interesting on this edition. Thank y'all for checking it out. All the Saints fans, all the members of the Who Dat Nation, keep your head up. It's a tough game today, but there are plenty more, okay? So much love to each and every one of you. My name is TJ Jones once again, and all I got to say